I call to order this regular meeting of the Board of Public Works this Tuesday, December 16th of 2025. First, we have messages from board members. Do we have any messages from the board this evening?
Just very quickly, I emailed about this. This is for the board and the staff. The meeting's the week of January 12th. I will not be available at all for the work session, and I'm highly unlikely to be available for the regular meeting on the 13th. If I am, it'll be virtually. And then I just found out this afternoon that I'm not available for the Monday, December 29th meeting.
But I think both Elizabeth and I are available for the 29th meeting.
For the 29th, and that's the last meeting of the year to do payroll and claims, hopefully only in a very short meeting. Yeah. Yep. So we'll work from that and go from there. But appreciate the heads up and thank you. You're one of the very few boards that meets every other week instead of once a month. So duly noted that the service you guys put in is pretty tremendous. So thank you. Yeah.
Any other messages from the board? Nope. Seeing none. Next up is appeals. We have noise appeal for 2036 North Walnut Street, apartment D14.
All right. So this is a noise appeal for 2036 North Walnut Street. This occurred on November 7th around 2:30 in the afternoon with noise citation 42784. That was issued to Evan Smith, the resident of 2036 North Walnut Street, Building A, Unit D14, and that was done by Officer Cameron Wells and John Hoffmeister. Looks like we have both officers in attendance. And then the resident did appeal, and in his appeal he did admit that he was creating the noise, trying to teach his roommate how to DJ. And so we are requesting that you uphold the violation, and we have both the officers present. We have Enadina from City Legal to answer questions, and does it look like Mr. Smith entered online at all? And the appellant is not here in person or online. He was made aware of date, time, all the logistics for this meeting. So we would ask that you uphold the violation and deny the appeal. And we're here to answer any questions.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board on this item?
I just want to confirm the officers, was there a noise violation called in about this area, or you approached this apartment because you were in the neighborhood for another issue?
So officer, one of the officers, if you could just come to the mic and state your name, and then could you restate your question? I think it was a little hard to hear.
I'm Officer Cameron Wells with the Bloomington Police Department.
Hi, I'm just curious, did you receive, or did dispatch receive a call about a complaint at this address in this apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
The appeal says that you were you were in the area at another call. So.
Yes, ma'am. We did receive 3 separate calls about the noise. However, we were also in the apartment complex dealing with another issue at hand while these were being called in and while the noise was going on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions from the board? And our appellant has not joined? No. Okay. All right. Is there a motion on this item?
I move that we deny the noise appeal at 2036 North Walnut Street, apartment D14.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. I will call the roll. Carone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next, we have petitions and remonstrances. If anyone has a public comment about something not on the agenda this evening, now is the opportunity to make that comment. If you are online, you can use the chat function or the raised hand function to let us know you'd like to make a comment. If you are here in person, you're welcome to approach the microphone.
None on Zoom.
Seeing none. Next, we have the consent agenda. Under the consent agenda are the minutes for October 7th of 2025, minutes for October 21st of 2025, Resolution 2025-084, Bloom Pantry India for in-apps, service agreement with Laura Soto, DBM CBA for in-shelter veterinary services, 2026 Centerstone Cooperative Agreement with City of Bloomington Parks and Recreation and City of Bloomington Public Works, Contract Amendment Number 1 for on-call geotechnical engineering with Patriot Engineering, extension of permitted alley closure for Service Master at 205 East Kirkwood, sidewalk and metered parking closure on South Dunn Street for F.A. Wilhelm, and payroll. Do we have any items that need to be removed from the consent agenda this evening? Seeing none. Are there any public comments on anything within the consent agenda this evening?
None on Zoom.
Seeing none. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
I move that we approve the consent agenda for tonight's meeting of December 16th, 2025.
Second.
All right, I will call the roll. Corone.
Aye.
Roach.
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next, we have new business. First under new business is LPA consulting contract with HNTB Indiana, Inc. for construction engineering services for High Street intersection modernizations and multi-use path project.
We never found an acronym. Jason with engineering. This project will construct a multi-use path on the east side of High Street from Arden Drive up to Hunter Avenue and modernize 2 existing traffic signals within the project limits. Project is programmed in the MPO TIP to utilize federal funding. HNTB Indiana, Inc. was selected to perform construction engineering services as the top scoring firm in response to a request for proposals. The contract is set at a not-to-exceed amount of $264,226. Billing for this work will be based on actual hours spent on inspection services, and a future amendment may be necessary to increase the contract total. And just information, tree removal and utility relocation is expected to begin in 2026, and the project construction primarily should occur the following year of 2027. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions from the board? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
All right, seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the LPA consulting contract with HNTB Indiana, Inc. for construction engineering services for the High Street intersection modernizations and multi-use path project.
Second.
I won't ask for any clarifications on that motion. All right, we have a motion and a second. I will call the roll. Corone.
Aye.
Roach.
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Before you move on, I just
Yeah,
wanted to make
sure.
a quick clarification about the noise appeal as I just, so we'll need to correct the staff report and the minutes. In the staff report, it says it was 2:30 in the afternoon. And Adina just clarified to me that it was, that the officers wrote the report with military time. And so it was actually 2:30 in the morning. It was not 2:30 in the afternoon like we thought all along. So we will correct that in the staff report and in the minutes to make sure it's reflected that it was 2:30 a.m. and that they did receive some complaints. Those were in the CAD notes. We didn't know that the complaints had come in either. So we'll clarify that in our staff report and make sure the record reflects that. Because I think that's a pretty big detail to notice in a noise violation. So thank you.
Thanks for that clarification. Next up is change order package number 1 for Hopewell West for Kreider and Kreider.
Hello, Zach Rogers with the Engineering Department. This is change order package 1 for Hopewell West with Kreider and Kreider. This project was awarded to Kreider and Kreider on July 1st at the board meeting for an amount of $1,687,318.85. The board has previously approved change orders totaling $153,444, resulting in a current authorized amount of $1,840,762.85. This package will result in an additional $51,632.50 to the contract. Revised total contract amount would be $1,892,369.05. This change order package includes 4 change orders. The first change order is a manhole sanitary structure on Jackson. Sod added to a ditch stabilization. Additional conduit to protect the new Jackson Street. This was put in for Duke Energy. And then there was some discrepancy between the plan and schedule pay items. Happy to go into detail if you have any question on this.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
All right, seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the change order package number 1 for Hopewell West for Kreider and Kreider.
Second?
I will call the roll. Corone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next, we have contract with DC Construction Services, Inc. for Jefferson Street Sidewalk Project.
Hi, Sarah Gomez, Engineering Department Project Manager. Jefferson Street project between 8th Street and 10th Street I'm sorry. I had a hard time yesterday. I'm having a hard time today reading. This project was publicly opened at the December 1st, 2025 board meeting. The lowest responsible and responsive bidder is DC Construction Services Incorporated at $238,278.50. Engineering recommends awarding the contract to DC Construction Services. And I did want to clarify, because we did have a question yesterday, this is council sidewalk funds, not CCMG, not CDBG, council sidewalk funds. So.
Thank you.
I'll just make an extra note here, too. We had a coordination meeting with our colleagues over at Indiana University Facilities and Capital Projects this afternoon. This project and the Union Street crosswalk project was discussed in terms of the coordination that'll be involved. The crosswalk project will have a closure of Union for about a 2-week period during the summer break. So we'll make sure we're coordinating that with any lane closures or potential closures that would be affiliated with the North Jefferson Street sidewalk project. But both projects are requiring close coordination with IU. They have a lot of adjacent property to it. We're doing rights of entry, things like that with their team as we would normally do. So that's taking place as well.
Questions from the board? We have a couple contracts with DC Construction Services. Has the city been contracting with DC Construction Services in the past?
No, these are our first contracts with DC. We've done some of our own research, checked with a couple of their references. IU has actually used them in Indianapolis at their IU Indy campus. What we've learned from their website and some research we've done is that started off as a small seal coating company by a 16-year-old who now, 20-some years later, has a pretty large nationwide DC contracting firm. They have they list a lot of contracts with major retailers for parking lot maintenance and striping. So Lowe's, Walmart. I can't remember all of them that were on there, but they've been also entering into the municipal and government like university type markets as well. And so. Looks like they've got a pretty strong track record.
And they're based out of Indianapolis, or somewhere in the central
One of the
Indiana
suburbs, maybe.
area?
I can't remember which one I read.
Pendleton.
Which one?
Pendleton.
Pendleton. Okay. All right. Any other questions on this item? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
All right. Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the contract with DC Construction Services, Inc. for the Jefferson Street Sidewalk Project.
Second?
All right. I will call the roll. Corone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next, we have contract with DC Construction Services, Inc. for 2nd Street curb ramps, Lincoln to Park.
Again, with Sarah Gomez. The project for 2nd Street curb ramps will be each intersection between Lincoln and Park. There will be installation of some bump-out curbs and curb ramps. There will be some paving at the end of that project by the Public Works Department as well. There'll be maintenance of traffic for each intersection as they go along, some sidewalk closures, and no full closures of any sort. The bids were open again on December 1st, 2025, the Public Works session, and DC Construction Services, again, was the lowest responsible and responsive bidder at $199,274, and engineering recommends awarding the contract to DC Construction Services.
Thank
And this
you.
is also council sidewalk funds, just to clarify.
Questions from the board on this item? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the contract with DC Construction Services, Inc. for the Second Street curb ramps from Lincoln to Park. I have the same issue you do, obviously.
It's a lot, it's a mouthful.
Second.
All right, I will call the roll. Carone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next, we have contract with DC Construction Services, Inc. for now I've got it.
Spreading.
Kirkwood Bollard footing installation.
Can we get NTB in there too? Let's add a few acronyms and have some fun. Good luck.
Thanks. So this project includes the installation of 4 S20, which means it's up to speeds of 20 miles per hour by a certain capacity of car or vehicle, removable bollard footings, and 12 removable bollard sleeves to hold the bollards in place when they're put in place. This is along 3 alleys adjacent to Kirkwood Avenue, and then on Dunn Street, just south of Kirkwood Avenue as well. This includes concrete footings, reinforcement bars, sleeves, drainage components, and any incidental work necessary to complete the installation. And the removable S20 bollards will be supplied by the city as they have extra from previous projects. The maintenance of traffic will be alley closures, and then there'll be a 5-day closure on Dunn Street to install the ones south of Kirkwood on Dunn Street. The bids were again open at 12 p.m. at the December 15th meeting yesterday at the work session, and DC Construction Services at $107,555 was the lowest and responsible and responsive bidder. And engineering recommends awarding that contract to DC Construction Services.
Thank you. Questions from the board on this item?
Do we have dates for the closure of Dunn Street?
What's that?
Do we have dates for the closure of Dunn Street?
We'll be working with the contractor and others on that. It definitely won't occur before May 6th or the May graduation timeframe. There's maybe a small chance that I doubt it could happen in spring break either, but we'll work with the contractor on the dates for when those closures and different things will occur. I will just note that it looks like one of the representatives of DC Construction Services, Billy Grinstead and Katie, are both on the Zoom meeting. So if you do want, you may have heard the board president ask about DC Construction. If you, knowing these are some of your first projects for Bloomington, wanted to do an official introduction, you're more than welcome.
Can everybody hear me?
There you go. Now
Yes,
we can.
we can.
Hi, everyone. My name's Billy with DC. Katie's on here as well. We're the main parts of the operations team. To answer questions, yes, we're absolutely delighted to work with you folks in Bloomington. We've worked quite a bit in the South, primarily Columbus area. But as you mentioned, we also do work with IU, IUPUI, Purdue, Ball State, Indiana State. But we also, over the last about 7 to 8 years, have also worked in the municipal sector. So we're well versed with kind of a little bit of everything. So we look forward to the opportunity. And Adam, to your point, obviously now that these are in the process of being awarded, we look forward to getting with the engineering department because we want to work within your schedule as far as we understand that there's a lot of things going on. Also knowing that a lot of companies don't work year round, we do. So if there's any opportunity to get some of this work done, to be perfectly honest, started at the beginning of the new year, prior to any kind of, um, spring startups. Because I know a lot of people, hey, it's spring. Where are you? We do have the capability of doing that, but again, we'll work with the engineering department directly, and obviously abide by everything as far as closures, understanding that we got to respect that IU's going to be impacted by this as well. So we'll do everything and anything we can. This is obviously our first opportunity to work with you folks, so we're really looking forward to it, and we'll do everything we can to make it as seamless as possible for both Bloomington, IU, and everyone that's concerned. But we're really excited to work with you folks.
Great, thank you. I'll just note, with the Kirkwood Bollard one, Kirkwood right in the heart of campus right there, downtown, that'll get the attention. We've got some sidewalk projects that we're completing down there as well. So we'll be definitely coordinating with you, and thanks for being on here tonight, introducing the company. Excited to work with you as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. On the Bollard project, so this will basically allow us, when we are utilizing Kirkwood for festivals, events, that we can close off the alleyways that intersect with Kirkwood to prevent any kind of potential cross-traffic.
Yeah, so as we had some really busy festivals downtown and on Kirkwood this summer, we recognized we had a couple alleys that we were having to just use water-filled barricades. And so we identified these locations as the highest priority for additional bollard installation after we coordinated with BPD and our public safety partners. One of them that I was one of the main, I was definitely involved with the Kirkwood Bollard installation project when it occurred however many years ago now, and we were out there setting up for Taste. It was either 4th Street or Taste or something, and we realized that on the south side of the Dunn Street intersection with Kirkwood, we didn't have a row of bollards because it's a one-way street heading the one direction, but in any public safety circumstances right now, you would also guard against somebody coming against what would normally be a one-way with no traffic on it. So that was why we added the Dunn Street as well.
So it's actually Dunn Street itself,
Yes.
not just the alley,
Just the alley
point.
No, we're doing a row across Dunn between Jimmy John's and Kilroy's on Kirkwood. Man, I sound like the kids these days. KOK.
Adam, would this, so word I'm looking for, would this be all the intersections on Kirkwood from the square to Indiana now?
Intersections, yeah, sorry to so right now from Walnut all the way to Indiana at all of the intersections, there are bollards. The alley between Tracks and Village Deli has bollards. We've got a few of the alleys where we already installed them because they were higher traffic areas where more delivery drivers try to get through, et cetera. We're now filling in all the extra gaps that
that was a question.
Yeah, this fills in
In
the
the rest of the gaps, great.
Yep.
Very good. Any other questions on this item? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
All right, seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the contract with DC Construction Services, Inc. for Kirkwood Bollard footing installation.
Second?
All right, I will call the roll. Corone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard? Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Next, we have street and sidewalk closure at intersection of 17th Street and North Walnut Street for City of Bloomington Utilities.
Good evening, Kyle Ball from Engineering on behalf of Zach Bell. So City of Bloomington Utilities is requesting a closure of the 17th Street and North Walnut Street intersection for a storm repair project. This is anticipated to be just a single night closure, anticipated for the 21st or 22nd of December for this year. So of course, overnight noise permit, I believe, was attached in the packet as well. So we don't expect anything much more than that as far as the scope is concerned, but happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve street and sidewalk closure at the intersection of 17th Street and North Walnut Street for City of Bloomington Utilities.
Second.
All right, I will call the roll. Carone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next, we have closures request and noise permit on South College Avenue for Weddle Brothers at the Convention Center.
All right, I'm going to kick this one off and then turn it over to Kyle, and then we've got Andrew, the project manager with Weddle here. As you recall, earlier this year, Weddle Brothers came to us with a phased approach to what they expected to be some of the lane and road closure requests that they would be coming forward with. This is one of the big ones they're coming forward with. This is basically a 2-week closure of College south of 3rd Street to facilitate the installation of their sky bridge. And then, so that would be from the January 26th through February 12th dates for a 2-week period with traffic being detoured over to Rogers. Then from there, from that February 12th through a end of July timeframe, or end of June timeframe, there will be this is a request to have College in a 1-lane southbound configuration from February 13th through June 26th. Kyle can talk about the detours that we have in place, the signage, the advanced notification, all the different things that we've been working really closely with Andrew and his team at Weddle. We're working on a substantial communications plan right now with the mayor's office. Weddle, the CIB, the Convention Center project are working on their communications that we can then help spread out to the whole community. But this is a big coordination. Understand it's going to have major impacts to the area and the corridor. But have appreciated the good partnership that Weddle has come to with this, and knowing providing a lot of information up front in their previous reports to the board, et cetera. But yeah, so that's just kind of the quick overview I have. I'm sure Kyle wants to add some more detail, and again, they're here for questions as well.
Yeah, also I'll just say other public notifications that we're working on. So signboards are planned to be out no later than January 5th of 2026 to let the traveling public know when and where to expect those closures. So as Adam mentioned, the vehicular detour would be from 3rd Street to Rogers and then back over on 2nd. The planned pedestrian detour is going to travel east down Walnut and then back over via 2nd as well. Yeah, as Adam also mentioned, we have included the communication that's being sent out at this time to the affected property owners. So we're looking at those folks in between College, Walnut, between 3rd and 2nd, from north to south, of course. So that's all in process at the moment. We're still working on some of the particulars of the actual temporary traffic control plan. We're working to get that shared with emergency services. So we really feel like we're crossing as many boxes off as we can for something this large, but we still have some time to get it all wrapped up.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
Couple questions for me. I seem to recall during yesterday's work session, the packet included the actual maintenance of traffic plan, and I don't see it in today's final packet.
It just had the two maps. What we included were the two maps showing where the phasing of the closures. I don't know that we've kind of gone back and forth with you all on, do we give you the full maintenance of traffic plan with all of the tiny little legend items showing you where every single sign is based on MUTCD standards for temporary traffic control plans? Getting this down, finally.
There's probably a happy median between nothing and the full engineered plans.
Yeah, so did we?
That median was added today. I don't know if we added it too late to get it included in the.
It should be, you should have it on paper. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and that's my.
It's just an adjusted map, I think.
Yeah, so this will show the planned detours for these, for each closure. And my apologies, it wasn't on there originally.
No, quite all right.
We talked about it in our permits meeting this morning. I was like, I think we want to put the Reader's Digest version of this detour in there without everything, so that's why you got the printed copy for this today.
If you could just restate some things that we talked about yesterday. During the work session, we talked about how the southbound traffic on College will be diverted to Rogers. And we had talked about how the construction at Rogers through the Hopewell project would be substantially complete by the start of this. If you could just confirm that?
Yeah, so
Okay.
all of the work on Rogers south of, the detour is going to go back on Second, but we know some folks will continue south. But the pavement work from Second to First, the bike lanes, that work is substantially complete. The final pavement went down. So that is open to traffic and will remain open to traffic throughout. Any Hopewell-related projects will not be affecting southbound Rogers during any of this during the closure phasing. There may be things that come up while it's back to the one-lane configuration, but overall, we're pretty confident. We recognize between Third and Second is a difficult stretch of Rogers that's going to have some impacts, but we're hoping to limit that just to this 2 weeks, and Weddell's been really good sharing their detailed plans on how they're going to get this done in 2 weeks.
And similar question, just for the record, during our meeting here, the reconstruction project on 2nd Street at 2nd and College will not have started by the time this has finished, or the phase 2 is finished.
Yeah, so I spoke to Zach Rogers, who's working on that currently. So currently they are working on the utility relocations for that project, but the bulk of those closures won't happen until mid to late next year, from my understanding. So anything heading east from Rogers, there's nothing on our radar at this point in time for that 2-week period that we're looking at here.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I know you had mentioned the coordination and communication with the other properties that are affected in the closure area, and we specifically talked about, I believe, the Midtown
I think it's
lofts.
still called Midtown Lofts. It's the larger apartment complex right off of Smith and South College.
Yeah, and so it sounded like Smith was going to be a potential entry point
Yes.
for that property. I'm curious about My Sister's Closet, which sits in the same zone. What's the access point for them during this closure and detour?
So that's a part of the detail that we requested from Weddell Brothers. I don't know if, Andrew, you've spoken to any of them on that level of detail just yet, but we will be having a requirement for all of those properties to have an access plan for this period of time.
And it may involve having to come north on Walnut to Smith.
And
To
then
kind
cutting
of circle.
across
Yes.
at a
Smith will be
certain-
open and Walnut will be open south of Smith. Like, it isn't going to have construction activity there, so it may require My Sister's Closet patrons to come either up Walnut North, west on Smith, and then back south on College, because Smith and College will be open to traffic.
I see. So, okay, so if you are traveling on Smith to College, you can then turn south on College and travel unrestricted. So that will be the access point. Okay.
And some savvy people may be able to make it through the convention center parking lots and south to South College and make it,
That's not the official.
that will not be the official detour. No.
It will be unmarked.
Yes, an unmarked, county-only detour.
Yeah, I mean, and as we know with any of our road closures or detours for any extended period of time, folks will find their little nooks, crannies, and ways to get to the areas they want to get to that may not be part of the official detour. But yeah, there will be a lot of signage out for this one.
And with that, I would just add, as someone who also finds my own sneaky ways through places, for those who are traveling on the unofficial detour, to just respect that space. If you're traveling through a parking lot, acknowledge it as a parking lot and not as a road. Yes, and do your best during this time. We did talk about the fact that this is a historic closure. This is not something that we don't believe the board has officially done in the past. So it's definitely a unique type of closure, and so we'll work collaboratively to make it as painless as humanly
Closure,
possible.
I don't think this has changed, but there's still, I believe, another 2-week closure of college that'll have to occur towards the end of the project as well. So this will be a trial run, and but this isn't the last time we'll have to close college for a couple-week period to finish this project. But that was all part of the original presentations of Weddle and the plans for the whole project. Yeah, when Kyle answered my question of, can you think of the last time we actually had a full closure of college? And he said never. Well, that was not the expected answer I had. I was like, there's got to be some, and we've been racking our brains that it's a big one, and also for a generational project too. The convention center is going to be a big project for many decades to come. So, trying to balance all of the aspects of it, and glad we have a good local partner we're working with to make sure this is going smoothly.
I have a question just with the noise permit included in the packet. How much overnight work should we expect during this 2 weeks?
Thank you for the reminder on that. So that was a suggestion on my part. In the event that we get pressed with time, we being Weddle Brothers gets pressed with time to complete this work in this time frame. Andrew promised me that there were going to be no extension requests for this closure. So that would be a last-ditch effort to get that completed within this time frame.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the closures request and noise permit on South College Avenue for Weddle Brothers at the Convention Center.
Second.
All right, I will call the roll. Corone.
Aye.
Roach.
Aye.
Cox Deckard, aye. Motion passes.
Historic moment.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andrew. You don't have to stick around. Yep.
Next, we have closure schedule for AT&T Large Fiber Part 1.
Hello, Rebecca Davis, Engineering Field Specialist. This first permit that I'm coming to present is for AT&T. It's going to be executed by Lineal Contracting. I've listed all of the kind of paths that they are going to take. Majority of the project is going to be either pulling fiber through pre-existing conduit and manholes, or doing overlashing and very minimal boring, so not less interruptive than a full boring path. So they are proposing that they will do this work starting in later December, somewhere in the 20s, stating that it should last for approximately a month. And I've listed all of the temporary traffic control that we have talked about pretty extensively.
Thank you. Questions from the board on this? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
All right, seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the closure schedule for AT&T Large Fiber Part 1.
Second.
All right, I will call the roll. Corone.
Aye.
Roach.
Aye.
Cox Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next, we have closure schedule for AT&T Large Fiber Part 2.
Okay, again, this is on behalf of AT&T. Lineal Contracting is executing the work. Again, kind of extensive route through town, but a lot of pretty short closures. Again, we kind of went back and together kind of collaborated on coming up with the appropriate temporary traffic control, and they are proposing this to happen at the same time as Part 1, so that would be somewhere in later December, lasting for about a month is what they've proposed.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
All right, seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the closure schedule for AT&T Large Fiber Part 2.
Second?
All right, I will call the roll. Corone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard, aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next, we have contract with Riverside Paving and Contracting, Inc. for parking lots 1, 3, and 5 resurfacing project.
Yeah, Adam Wason on behalf of Michelle Wall, Parking Services Director. So this is repaving our several of our downtown surface parking lots. Lot 1 is at 4th and Dunn Street behind Dunkirk Square. Lot 3 is at 4th and Washington. That's going to be behind the Buskirk Chumley and such. And then Lot 5 is at 6th and Lincoln, kind of across the street from the Monroe County Public Library. So this is a traditional maintenance project of milling, repaving, new striping, ADA compliance, and such. Riverside Paving and Contractor, LLC, was the low bidder in the when we opened bids yesterday, and that is in the amount of $134,139. And we'll work on coordination of that for the construction timeframes, knowing we've got a lot of things going on downtown.
Thank you. Questions from the board on this item?
Just a question about the staff report. After the bulleted list, it says contractor shall give a 4-week notice, and then the date, May 4th, 2026. Is that a 4-week notice by May 4th, 2026, or approximately May 4th?
That's going to be a yes, before, so that we can coordinate. That's the protection not to start before IU students let out.
Got it. Thank you.
So will these be staggered, like they'll work on one lot and then another lot?
Guess is that they'll move lot to lot. They'll begin with the milling and concrete. They'll probably begin with concrete work, do the milling, and so start at one of the lots with milling, and then go lot to lot to lot with the milling, and then follow back up with the paving. So there may be some small periods of time where the lots are only to a milled surface during it, but for efficiency and everything else, they're going to want to do all of the milling phased and then all the paving following up behind it.
So are people going to be able to park on the milled surface, or?
We will be working very closely with our permitted parker. So the library lot in particular has permitted parkers. The others are just hourly. So we will be coordinating that as we move along. But there will definitely be times where it's completely restricted to no parking. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I wouldn't.
Like it could, if they were actually doing the surface resurfacing.
Yes, but I mean, we would be looking at a few days. I don't think we're looking at weeks of it being not available. I think we're looking at more of staggering days where they may not be available. And again, we're going to be working closely with the downtown schedule for this summer, with festivals, with all the things. Kirkwood maintenance project, Bollard installation project. I could keep going with other downtown. We've got a bunch of downtown paving that's still set to occur further west, but downtown. So there's a lot of parts, as in any given construction season, that we're always trying to coordinate and make sure that the impacts are limited. We're limiting the impacts the best we can.
And so for those permit holders in that unique lot that does have permits, those permits, I assume, would be honored at a different location during that time?
We've done such things, yes. We've coordinated with the library for different special events that restrict some of their access, so we're pretty accustomed to coordinating with the library if they have impacts to their permitted parking.
And then if there are, and I can't recall in these lots what the configuration is, but if there are any handicap spaces, is there an anticipation that we would maybe create a temporary handicap space in an adjacent area for somebody who
Yeah, and we
needs to
just
park
added
there.
more downtown ADA spaces, so that's a plus. But yeah, I mean, if we know we're going to have a lot that has a 7-day period where there's no access, we would try to create additional ADA space somewhere nearby. And we would do that based on not only what's required, but if we need to try to go above and beyond, we would do that as well if it's going to have an impact there. And it's also possible that some of the configurations of the parking lots change slightly to meet newer standards for ADA, things like that as well.
Any other questions from the board? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
All right, seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the contract with Riverside Paving and Contracting, Inc. for parking lots 1, 3, and 5 resurfacing project.
Second.
All right, I will call the roll. Crone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next, we have Amendment 1 to the contract with Browning Chapman for Morton and Walnut garages.
All right, so this is a change order. Well, this is a result of a change order, and that the result of that had the result of the work associated with change order put this beyond the expiration date of the original completion, and so we're just asking to extend that out to January 31st, 2026, so that we can get all that work completed, and then the next item's kind of related.
Thank you. Questions from the board on this item? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve Amendment 1 to the contract with Browning Chapman for Morton and Walnut garages.
Second.
All right, I will call the roll. Crone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next, we have change order 1 for contract for Morton and Walnut garages project with Browning Chapman.
Yeah, so this is a change order. This is a change order for the work at the Walnut and Morton garages that are part of the waterproofing contract we just talked about. We had to go with some new brackets for fabrication, specifically to the 3rd floor at the Morton garage, so that they could properly be anchored. This is for if you think about the wired retention that you see between the levels of parking garages, that's part of what this is. So CE Solutions, our structural engineer on all of this, did some work to suggest how we implement this, and that results in a change order in the amount of $15,444.45, and we ask for your approval.
Thanks. Questions from the board? So we have an amendment 1 and a change order 1. These are distinguished because one is a date change.
Yes.
And the other one is actually a scope, it's a change to what was required to fulfill the work.
Yeah, it's not a change in the scope of the project. It's a change order that had that resulted in a monetary change to the overall amount of the contract.
So they can both be one because one's an amendment and one is a change order.
Correct.
All right. Just making sure. All right. Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve change order 1 for the contract for Morton and Walnut garages project with Browning Chapman.
Second.
All right, I will call the roll. Crone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next up is staff reports and other business.
All right, Adam Wason again, Public Works Director. Just a couple quick staff reports. One, just to note that, it's winter in Bloomington, and per typical winter weather in Bloomington, it's kind of going up and down and all around, and we have had now 3 winter weather events officially that we've responded to. This weekend, they started seeing the precipitation occurring Saturday morning. The road temperatures weren't quite cold enough for it to stick right away. And then when it did cool down, that's when it really started to fall out of the sky and accumulate. And then we, of course, had the Arctic blast that took the temperatures down below zero. We got a lot of feedback that, they didn't see trucks out salting Saturday night, et cetera. Just to make note that in conditions like that, when it starts to dip below the 15-degree level, especially with wind chills, the salt's no longer effective in melting the snow. So we certainly weren't out there putting down extra salt at that time. We needed to wait till those temperatures rose, which you don't want to put it down in anticipation of the temperatures rising because traffic will break it up. It'll fall towards the sides of the road, et cetera. So kudos to our crews. They do just tremendous work in these tough conditions. And so just wanted to make note of that. And then I just wanted to highlight a few things. And as part of the consent agenda tonight, you approved the 2026 Cooperative Services Agreement with Centerstone. This is for our Brighton Bloomington project and program, which is a supportive employment program partnership between City of Bloomington Public Works, City of Bloomington Parks and Recreation, and Centerstone. And I just wanted to highlight a couple things. It's one of the projects and one of the programs we're really proud of. These folks are the folks you see downtown in their yellow vests. They're cleaning up, doing sidewalk cleanup, vegetation and weed removal, tree trimming, curb painting, graffiti removal, clearing storm drains, and then here even during the winter weather months, we have them doing some pedestrian scale snow and ice removal from ADA ramps and such. Since 2017, 117 individuals have taken part in the program. 71 of those that were either homeless or in transitional housing when they began the program were successfully housed, which is something that is just as good as it gets. And then 90 of those employees have maintained permanent housing, according to some of the latest information we've gathered with Centerstone. Over 100,000 pounds of debris have been collected since the start of the program. 78,000 feet of curb have been painted. Thousands of storm drains cleared, and just overall great program that we've been proud of for many years in that partnership. Additionally, we've had members have graduated out of the program into some full-time employment, including one that now works with our parking services department. They led teams as part of our annual downtown cleanup. So there was a city staff member, a Centerstone staff member, and they were the crew leaders for our annual downtown cleanup. So there's a bunch of information on our on our dashboard of the city's data dashboard on the work that these crews have been doing, but just wanted to highlight that program, the work that's being accomplished, the partnership that we've created, and the overall great results that we're seeing with it. Something we're just proud of. So thank you.
If I can also add, one of the things in the contract we approved tonight was a change to 7-day-a-week work.
Yeah, so one of the things we've realized with this past football season and some other events that we could really use some help downtown on Saturdays and Sundays with general cleanup. So Sundays in particular, our downtown specialist gets pretty overwhelmed with trash litter removal from those spots we all know and love along Kirkwood, College, Walnut. And so, yeah, this does expand that, and we're excited for that.
Thank you. All right, next is approval of claims. Are there any questions from the board on the claims?
I do have one question, and I apologize that I didn't bring this up yesterday. I'm looking at the very last page, page 55. And right at the top, there's 3 claims for Cranes Leather and Shoe Shop, Inc. One is $100, one's $125, and one is $10,000. And that just kind of stood out to me as unusual.
So the $10,000 claim is for various employees, and then the other 2 were safety shoes for employees that could not make it on the date that everyone, so they take everyone on one day is what they try to do to get all of that into one claim for what is purchased by the city. Yeah.
So, and this is part of this is coordinated through risk management and all the various divisions that have union employees or other employees required to wear personal protective equipment, specifically work boots. So this is our work boot reimbursement program, up to $125 per employee per year. And then for some of our divisions or departments that have higher than average wear and tear on those boots, we do offer a potential second pair if they show that, hey, a sanitation worker on and off the truck throughout, those boots are going to last hopefully 6 to 9 months. But if they do wear out, we assist with a second pair as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Believe it or not, I actually have a question about claims.
All righty.
This is the night for claims questions. On page 27, under economic and sustainable developments claims, there is a claim for $4,200 to Talia Holiday for Kirkwood Activation Coordinator. Can you just describe that activity?
My understanding is that they've brought Talia on as a contracted staff member to assist with, we've got several aspects of the Kirkwood and downtown, oh shoot, what was the report I had you print earlier? The downtown activation. So ESD has been coordinating with Downtown Bloomington, Inc., Kirkwood Community Association, as well as the Chamber of Commerce and others on a downtown strategies report. So Dee De La Rosa and others. And this role is specifically helping to try to coordinate some of our conversations around Kirkwood. So
facilitating conversation around that strategic plan is what the contract work is for.
And outdoor dining and parklets and the future, yeah, so that occurred in the last year or so, or last several months.
Very good, thanks. All right, any other questions on claims since we're really on a roll? Any public comments about claims?
None on Zoom.
All right, seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve claims this evening in the amount of $4,162,526.58.
Second?
All right, I will call the roll. Carone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes. And seeing as there's nothing else on our agenda, I will call for adjournment.